Hi folks, Terry from O-Gauge Trains back with the first video of 2023. What I have here on the bench is a Marx New York Central tin litho passenger coach. This came as a set with the Marx 333 locomotive and heavy cast tender. Now if you notice, it has the old style steel tilt couplers, or the automatic tilt they called them. They would be activated by going across a special track that had a electromagnet in it. When current was applied, it would cause the coupler to tilt and then uncouple. And the way it could tilt was, if I show you here, I'll tip it up. If you look real close, I'll try to zoom the camera in. Well, I can do it, but right down in here is a spring. I don't know if you can see it in focus, but that spring is what allows the coupler to tilt and couple. Now I'm going to show you today, what I plan to do is to show you how to remove and replace these tilt couplers, or if you have to, how to replace the spring if you lose one. It's pretty straightforward. And what I intend to do is replace that coupler with this Marx plastic tilt coupler. You notice it has this little slot here in the top. The reason I want to do that is these couplers can only couple to Marx tilt. You cannot couple anything else to them. But by putting that other coupler on, I showed you here, I can now hook Marx tab and slot. I can hook, I can make a knuckle coupler adapter that can go in there to hook knuckle coupler. I can hook, use a Lionel coupler and make it the same thing, another Lionel adapter to couple it. It really opens up the number of locomotives and things I can hook to this car and pull it with, and the rest of the cars that came with the set as well. Otherwise, I can only pull it, the only way I could pull it with any other locomotive would be, of course, to use the original tender that came with it. But if you want to pull it with a diesel locomotive, they don't use a tender. And my Marx 6000 just so happens to have tab and slot couplers. So I'm hoping once this is done, I can then pull the Marx 6000, use it to pull these cars. Just for something different, something to change up. And I'll do a follow-up video on that probably later to show how they run and show pulling them. But for now, I'm going to set the camera down here and we'll get started here on changes. As I said, it's very straightforward and very easy to do. Now to do it, I have my tools laid out. You're going to need a pair of short hemostats, a toothpick, a flathead screwdriver. Sometimes it makes it a little easier to get the wheels off. They can be, and a pair of needle nose pliers. Set the camera here and focus it. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. Now we'll try to get this camera set right. Camera wants to fall off the tripod. Alright, that should do it. Yeah, I said, first thing we'll do is you want to remove the wheels. Let's see if these are going to come off relatively easy. Oh, that one did. Set the wheels aside. So we won't need the screwdriver. That's good. Next thing you want to do is remove that spring down in there. You can see it. And that's where the hemostats come in. Now, that spring is held in. It goes at the bottom, goes into a little well on the base of the coupler, and then there's a little bent piece that goes into a little hole at the top. So using our toothpick and our hemostats, we're going to remove that. The way you do that is you open the hemostats, and you're going to reach in and grab that spring. Then push that little pin down out of that hole with the toothpick. Once you get down, you can down and out. Then you can simply rotate that, and it comes. See, it comes right out. So, and get that. There is the spring. It pulled out. We'll set that spring aside. We're going to need it later. Be careful not to lose it. Next step is removing the coupler. Now you take your flathead screwdriver and you just want to put it right in here, and you can just pop that out. You might have to loosen it with a needle, bend that tab back with the needle nose pliers, which I think we're going to have to do. This little tab here is going to bend this back a little bit. Not a whole lot. Be careful not to snap it off. Then you're going to pop that coupler up out of there. Comes out, and you just simply slide it back, and the coupler is removed. Set that aside. Now to install your new coupler, it's just the reverse. Yeah. Put that in there. Make sure you get it in to the holes. And you may have to bend the tab back a little bit more to get it to go in. Bend that back just enough to get this coupler to drop into place. And keep it in view of the camera. Should just pop right in. It does, you don't have to fiddle with it, but eventually it will go in. Come on now. It's hard with the camera in the way. There we go. It just clicked in. And you're just going to bend that tab back up to secure it. Now this, because it's plastic a little thicker, works a little stiffer than the metal one. Next, we take our spring, which, here we are, and we're going to put our spring back in. So set the car there, and hook the spring into the hemostats, and you're just going to turn the spring sideways. You want to then turn it up and hook it into that little pin. You want to get, at the same time, get it into that little well. Once you get it, okay, got it in there, and simply push it into the well, get it in position where you need it. You have to use the screwdriver. It looks to be in position. Yep, and it is working. As I said, this coupler is going to work a little stiffer because those pegs are a little bit thicker than the original couplers were, but it will work. If necessary, I may have to later remove it and ream these holes out a little bit more. But for now, it will do it, and that is essentially how you replace a Marx tilt coupler or tilt spring. Very straightforward, very easy. I'll just put the wheels back on to finish it up, and that's pretty much it. Now, if you have to, I'll show you in a minute, do this for the other end, which I'll take down here, that has the contactor. To do that, it's a little more involved. You have to take this here actually clips over the axles. You have to take a screw and pop that off. Then, and of course, and lay that aside with the wire. Careful to lay it aside, not break the weld joint. And then the rest is just the same as I did on the other end, as far as changing the coupler out or replacing the spring. And after you're done, you just got to pop that contactor piece back onto the axle. So that's pretty much it on how to change out the couplers, tilt couplers, on a Marx, any car really that has these steel tilts. It really opens up a lot more of what you can hook up to this and pull with it. As I said, later I'll do a follow-up video showing it pulling other things, being pulled by other locomotives. I mean, not the car pulling, being pulled by various locomotives. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, hit the like button or leave a comment in the comments below. And thank you again for watching Terry's O-Gauge Trains. And we'll catch you next time.